There's not only going to be wrestling this weekend, there's going to be UFC. It is going to be the Trilogy match. It is going to be Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. Like you said, the Trilogy in Las Vegas this Saturday night. I'm going to try to put my MMA hat here and go on this premises, Trendsetter, is that if Conor McGregor loses this fight, I think you have seen or are beginning to see the decline of Conor McGregor. As much as I hate to say it, as much as I hope he pulls off this win, he's had not the audacity, but he came out and said that he took Dustin Poirier, the match before, a little too lightly. He took him too lightly, which is shocking to me. I get it, he's the man. But if he were to lose, then I think you're going to see the decline in Conor McGregor because I just don't think that same hunger is there. I mean, I see a tremendous athlete. I see his greatness. He's been great for a long time. But sooner or later, you start to see that decline. You start to see that hunger get a little bit less. Man has nothing to fight for as far as money-wise. So that is my premise, Trendsetter, that if he were to lose this Saturday night, you're going to see the decline of Conor McGregor.
Well, first of all, you have to say it right, Jeff. It's going to be the Diamond Dustin Poirier versus the notorious Conor McGregor. It's fair to make that assessment. You know why? Because people will feel this is his second loss coming off his fight with Khabib. Or no, he fought Cowboy Cerrone, but then, he hasn't been as active as he wants to. So You can clearly say, and it's fair, I guess you could say, there's a decline. I don't see it, though. In terms of him being in his physical prime, he's right there. He is in his physical prime and his physical peak. Here's the downfall, though. Due to the inactivity, in my opinion, that it's prevented Conor from being active. Plus, let's not also take in consideration his own indecisiveness of when he wants to fight, who he wants to fight, and things of that nature. But I think if he loses this fight, I feel the luster and the aura of Conor McGregor is gone. In terms of his marketability, I don't think it's
a fighter to another opponent.
But again, in terms of that, his aura is gone. And I think it's close to almost being gone, too, to seeing that, he did really well against Dustin Poirier, but the way he got finished, we talk about wrestling, right? It doesn't matter wins and losses, it's how it's interpreted by the audience, and how you lose is what's more important rather than do you lose. Conor didn't look really well when he lost. He got knocked out, looked out of sorts of everything like that. For him to say that, anyone who loses is going to say I took the fight lightly as an excuse, right? That we all have to do things like that to justify ourselves for things of that nature. Ultimately, if he loses this fight, his aura, his lure is gone. Similar to when Ronda Rousey got defeated, that was it. When she got beat, she was human. Same thing with Conor now. He's human now. As much as I respect him and look at him as an amazing athlete, he had this aura about him which made him a difficult for anybody to face. But now he looks human. He looks like he is beatable. And that's the last thing you want to look like when you're a star in the UFC is beatable. Marketability-wise, I think even if he loses this one, there'll still be 1 or 2 or 3 more fights that will still draw money because of the name Conor McGregor and what he's built throughout the years. But yes, this is a must-win for Conor McGregor. And then that would all lead to the Trilogy fight eventually down the road if he does defeat Dustin Poirier with Nate Diaz.
All right, so real quick, a little strategy from both guys. What does Poirier have to do, and what does McGregor have to do real quick, and your prediction?
Okay, what Dustin Poirier has to do is similar to what he did in the second fight, obviously. Put that pressure on, keep taking him, as he says, into deep waters, and making sure that he doesn't have time to breathe. What Conor has to do is what we didn't see in the second fight, but we saw in the first one they did, elusiveness, having that commitment to not being afraid to be taken down, but also have an opener stance. He came in more as a boxer. He's more closed, which left him open for the calf kicks. Now, I'm not an expert, but to have that fluidity, that open stance, allowed him to have the maneuverability to dodge things. Conor's known as a counterpuncher. In the second fight, he was going more aggressive. Let Dustin come to you, which he's eventually going to do. Let him make the mistake. Let him open up. And Conor's great at countering. He's got that massive left hook that even Dustin Poirier said post-fight too, that if he got hit with a couple more of those, he was going to get knocked out. So he admitted to that. So stay away from the calf kick. Fluidity for Conor McGregor. Movement, counter. Dustin Poirier, keep the pressure going. What I see in terms of this, Conor's always been impressive when it comes to being defeated. He's been defeated more than one occasion. Every single time he's come back, besides Khabib Nurmagomedov, which never happened in the rematch, he's always been better. He's learned from his mistakes. That doesn't always showcase that it's going to be a victory, but I think he's going to learn from his mistakes. He's going to give more of what he wanted to do rather than dictate the pace of what he felt people wanted to see, and we're going to see a win by Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. All right, cool. I thought you were going to say Poirier. I'm going to go with Dustin Poirier. I just think I'm beginning to see that slippage in Conor McGregor. I hope I'm wrong because, again, he'd be so marketable for Dana White. Definitely would love to see him win this one. But I think right now, Dustin Poirier right now just seems like a guy who's had there's more of a flow with him. You know what I mean? It seems like there's nothing, there's no obstacles, there's no hindrances and stuff like that. I just think with Conor, all the ups and downs and stuff like that, I'm going to go with Dustin Poirier. So, again,